Hello, we're here today to meet with Richard Ormond at Dreweatts in Pall Mall to chat about an extraordinary group of drawings and watercolours by Singer Sargent and his sister Emily. The works were once owned by the late Jemima Pitman, who happens to be Richard's cousin, and the collection will go on sale at Dreweatts in Newbury on the 7th of July. So Richard, thank you very much for joining me today, and we're here obviously to talk about Singer Sargent and his sister Emily, and also Jemima Pitman. So perhaps we could start with what your connection is to Jemima Pitman.
Well, she's my first cousin, and although when we were young we didn't see a lot of her or her sister Rose, but later when we were older we became very close.
And with Jemima, I mean, she sounds like she was a fascinating character.
Yes, well, she'd had quite a difficult early life, I think. She really found peace and harmony with the Maharishi. She joined the organisation very early on. Yes, she was a rare spirit. You felt she was a very spiritual, very humane, somebody you could talk to and pour out your troubles to. People became quite devoted to her.
You were both descended from Singer Sargent and his sister Emily.
Yes, from Singer Sargent's sister, Violet, had a number of children.
So Richard, obviously a lot of people will have heard of Singer Sargent, but maybe much less familiar with his sister Emily's work. I wondered whether you could give us a little bit of an introduction to them both.
Singer Sargent trained in Paris. He trains with a French artist and also at the École des Beaux-Arts, which is an academic institution. But he's also a friend of Monet. I think often the trouble is that people say on the one side the Impressionists and then the old academics, but actually the world is far more fluid. So he makes his mark in Paris, and then he moves. The terrible scandal of Madame Gautreau, which is a picture of this flamboyant beauty, and it's denounced by the critics, and the public all come to laugh at it. And that's when Henry James says, well, why don't you come to England? He has quite a difficult passage. It's really in the famous portrait of Lady Agnew, 1892, that knocks everything else off the walls. Meanwhile, Emily, she has a bit of formal training.
And do you think she was very much a product of the fact she was a female artist at that time? So
yes.
The avenues weren't open in the same way?
She hardly ever exhibited her work. She never sold anything. If you were female, it was jolly difficult to become a professional. Her sister had a house in Tunisia. She loved the markets and the towns and the landscapes.
And the light, by the looks of it.
And the light, yeah. She has that, and fluency too. We've given a whole lot of her watercolours to museums in this country and in America. And I'm waiting for somebody to do the big exhibition. Coming
back to Jemima, and do you think she would be pleased to see these things out and about?
Oh yes, she was very generous-minded, and also she cared a lot about these works. You know, she'd been brought up with them, and she knew many of the artists. She'd be a bit worried about all the publicity about her.
Well, Richard, thank you very much indeed. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Very good.